that we made the rice, we can now make some sushi. First, let's make onigiri rice balls. So for the rice balls, I use a mold to make it easier because it's kind of hard to shape the rice. You just cut a little piece of the nori to put it on there so you can have somewhere to hold where the rice won't stick to you. And that's it. Now the ingredients. So I didn't have a lot of stuff in the fridge, so I had imitation crab. I used mayonnaise and sriracha to make spicy crab. I had a piece of avocado left from lunch yesterday, so it's not a whole lot, but it'll do for now. This is inari. We'll get to that later. And some Philadelphia cream cheese. So basically we're going to make a variation of a Philadelphia roll. Alright, so let's get this stuff out of the way. Alright, here I have a blend of black and white sesame seeds with a nori and some seasoning. We can use that to give the rice a bit more flavor and also make it look a little bit nicer. And we got some nori, or the seaweed paper. The thing with this stuff is that it's got a smooth side on one side, and then on the other side it's kind of coarse. So this side that's kind of coarse, you want to make sure it's facing up, because that's where you're going to put the rice. Let's start with Urumaki rolls. This is rice on the outside. Okay, when spreading the rice, you want to make sure you get your hands a little moist so that the rice doesn't stick too much to your hands. And for the urumaki rolls, since the rice is on the outside, we want to make sure that we spread the rice over the whole entire sheet. Okay, so once we're done with that, we can start seasoning the rice. I like to spread it out pretty much over the whole thing evenly so that it's visible and it actually makes the rice look pretty nice on the outside. Okay, so a little trick I learned when doing the urumaki rolls is to get a piece of saran wrap and just throw it over the rice. And this is going to help so when you start rolling it, the rice doesn't fall apart. And this makes things so much easier when cutting it also. Alright, so we're going to start putting the ingredients in the bottom third part of it. And we're doing a sort of Philadelphia roll with cream cheese, avocado, and spicy crab. And you can substitute this for whatever fillings you would like, really. The possibilities are endless. For example, if you want to do like a tuna roll with tuna, or you could even throw in like some crispy fish sticks in the middle, or anything you like. Like I said, your imagination is the only limit. Alright, so now when we start rolling it, you want to squeeze towards you and make sure that you put enough pressure but not too much. And you want to keep pulling back the bamboo as you're rolling forward. And once you get the whole roll closed, you can just start giving it its shape. And there we are. And notice that I left a little bit of the saran wrap over here. This is going to make it easier to open up after we cut it. And like I said, the saran wrap keeps the rice together so that it doesn't fall apart. So the knife, I got a sharp knife, and you want to get it a little bit wet so that the rice doesn't stick too much to it. Alright, You want to make sure you have a pretty sharp knife so that it cuts it without breaking the nori or the rice apart. Um, Dull knives will usually just squish the sushi. And there we have it, our Urumaki rolls. Is that Thor I see coming?
What sort of dish is this, mortal? It is quite delicious.
Those are called Urumaki rolls, Thor. And next up are the Maki rolls. So the Maki rolls are the ones with the sushi nori on the outside. And once again, you want to have the coarse side facing up before you put the rice down on it. Now for the Maki rolls, as you can see on the top here, we're leaving about a quarter of it without rice. And this is going to be so we have a little bit left over for when we make the roll and seal it. So this is how we're going to seal it. We're going to take the individual grains of rice and you're going to press them down onto the sushi nori, kind of making like a little paste. So once you have those all along the top, we're done with that. So we can start putting the ingredients in. Alright, so it's the same ingredients. And we're gonna line the nori at the bottom of the bamboo and put a little seasoning if you desire. And we're set. So it's gonna be the same thing. The only difference is that we don't have the saran wrap on here. So you could be a little bit careful just because you don't want to rip the nori. But it's the same thing. As we roll it towards the middle, we're going to start squeezing towards us, pulling the bamboo back as we roll. And then you just keep rolling the bamboo as you roll the sushi. And you just give it a little squeeze, and there you are. There's our roll. And then here, this is where the paper is sealed all along with the little grains of rice. And we're ready to cut it. Okay, so once again, we get the knife a little wet so that the rice doesn't stick to it. And then we're going to start cutting it. But when you start cutting it with the nori on the outside, you want to make sure that you cut it carefully, as the nori could rip if you're not careful. And here we have it, some Maki rolls and Urumaki rolls. What? Tony Stark too?
Okay, so who's going to Vamp's house for sushi? Anyone else in? I'll be there in a jiffy. Come on, Vamp, really? You invited Tony? I hate that guy. If he comes, I'm not staying.
Oh, come on, Cap. Be nice. Now for the inari fried soybean curd. So, for these little packets of fried soybean curd, or the inari or whatever it's called, basically little pouches. They're fried and seasoned, so they got a pretty nice flavor to them. And all you got to do really for these is just stuff the bottom part of it with a little bit of sushi rice, and then on the top part you just fill it with whatever ingredients you like. And It's that simple.